Sports Week. Hello, everyone. This is Dick Shad in Los Angeles. The name of the program is Sports Week, featuring highlight moments from a week in sports history. Join us now as we look back to a week in sports in 1959. The date is August 21st, 1959. The place, the Coliseum, Los Angeles, California. The event, the annual charity football game between the Los Angeles Rams and the Washington Redskins. Over 85,000 fans were in the Coliseum to watch one of pro football's biggest rivalries unravel. The Redskins were led by little Eddie LeBaron, and before this night was over, he had won the hearts of everyone, except perhaps the Ram pass defenders. The one mistake LeBaron made came late in the first quarter when Don Burrows intercepted a pass and the Rams started a long drive. We were there to call this game, so let's listen now to the description just as it happened back in August 1959. The Redskins are leading 2-0 on a safety as we pick up the action right after the pass interception. And the Rams take over on their own 21-yard line. Wade in at quarterback calling the signals. Handoff goes to Matson up the middle. He got about 2 yards up to the 23-yard line before he was snowed under by the entire center of the Washington line, led by Chet Ostrowski. Six minutes remaining to go in the first quarter. 2-0, Washington leading on a safety. Wade brings the Rams out of the huddle up to the line of scrimmage. Matson and Arnett the halves, Tom Wilson at fullback. Schaffner is a split left end. Handoff goes to Wilson, cutting over left tackle across the 25 to the 30, up to about the 33, 34-yard line. He fumbled, but was recovered by Wilson himself, I believe. Rams have it, and it's Wilson getting up off the bottom of the pile. So Wilson recovered his own fumble on the 35-yard line, let's call it. It's about the 34.5. Don Lawrence was the man that hit him and shook the pigskin loose, but Wilson alertly falling on his own fumble. It's good for a first down. So 1st and 10, Rams on their own 35-yard line. This time Arnett comes as an outside flanker far to the right, and Schaffner is a split left end. The remaining backs are Wilson and Matson. Here's Wade back to throw, shoots a quick pass out here, complete at the 40-yard line to John Arnett. Arnett dropped immediately on the 41, 42-yard line. Ralph Felton and Jim Weatherall making the stop on him. Just short of a first down. It'll be 2nd and about 2 yards to go. 2nd and 2, Rams on their own 43. Wade, Matson, Arnett, and Wilson in the backfield. I'll give you the Redskins' defensive alignment right after this next play. Schaffner goes outside flanker to the left. Wade handing off this time to Arnett, cutting to his left, good blocking. 45, 50, may go, 40, 35, 30, got from behind at the 30-yard line. Penalty flag down, hold everything. It's a penalty flag on the field. Weatherall made the stop on Arnett, who got behind, good blocking, broke into the open and went all the way to the 28-yard line. But it's going to come back, I believe. There's a penalty flag on the field, and it is going to come back. It'll be against the Rams. Clipping penalty on the play, I think. Clipping penalty against the Rams. It's from the spot of the foul. It gives them a first down on the 47-yard line. So the good run of Arnett's nullified. However, the Rams have a 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. Arnett's a flanker to the right. Handoff to Matson, cutting around the right side to the 50, down to the 45-yard line before he's finally rolled to the ground. Don Lawrence and Chet Ostrowski making the stop on Ollie Matson. Matson, of course, came to the Rams this year in a trade with the Chicago Cardinals. Ollie in his 7th year in the National Football League, but playing for the first time in a Ram uniform. Before a Tremendous crowd here at the Times charity game tonight, and there is certainly well over 80,000. Wade on a handoff right up the middle goes to Tom Wilson, the fullback, and he got down just short of the 40-yard line. It'll be about the 41-42. Big pile up as the entire center of the Washington line, Jim Weatherall, Lawrence, and Felton all in there on the stop. Washington defensively, Johnny Polluck at left end, Jim Weatherall at left tackle, Don Lawrence at right tackle, and Chet Ostrowski at right end. Felton, Drzenovich, and Art Gobb, the linebackers. Hudson and Tchaikovsky at the cornerbackers, and Don Nix, Richie McCabe, the safety men. Wilson picked up the first down. So it's 1st and 10 Rams in Washington territory. The ball on the 42-yard line. 2.5 minutes remaining to play in the first quarter. The Redskins lead 2-0. Wade calling signals. Schaffner's a split left end. Wade back to pass, shoots a long one downfield. It is over the head of the intended receiver, Del Schaffner, at the goal line, and incomplete. Schaffner was out in front of his man. Tchaikovsky was right with him, but Schaffner pulled away at the 5-yard line, and the pass was just out of his reach and incomplete. So it'll be 2nd and 10 Rams. The line of scrimmage remains the 42-yard line of the Redskins. 2.5 minutes remaining to play in the first quarter. Redskins leading 2-0. Wade, Matson, Arnett, and Wilson in the backfield for the Rams. Schaffner and Lundy at the ends. Arnett, an outside flanker right. Schaffner is a split left end. Wade calling the signals. Wade back to pass again. Getting good protection. He shoots one out to the left. It is complete to Schaffner at the 25, to the 20. He's going to score. 10, 5. He goes into the end zone untouched. The pass went from Bill Wade to Del Schaffner. Schaffner got away from his man, Tchaikovsky, at about the 25-yard line and just loped into the end zone for the score. Now the try for the extra point. Burroughs to do the holding, and I think that's Jack Morris in there to kick. That's right, Morris will do the kicking. Snap back, the ball's down, the kick is up and good, and the Rams are out in front by a score of 7-2. Well, the Redskins were stung by this Rams score, and after taking the following kickoff, they drove 77 yards in 10 plays to make it 9-7. But this, in turn, aroused the Ram offense, and some more fireworks are about to happen. Let's listen now as we call the Ram drive following the kickoff. Rams send a flanker to the right. Schaffner's a split left end. Wade back to throw, shoots one complete to Matson at the 35, and he's got blockers in front of him, but somebody knifed through and dropped him at the 40-yard line. It was Gene Tchaikovsky knifing through there nicely, getting away from the blockers as Matson had 2 of them out in front of him. Tchaikovsky with a brilliant defensive play, making the stop on Matson, and the Rams have it on the 41-yard line. Short of the first down, it'll be 2nd, about 3 yards to go. Arnett this time goes outside as a flanker to the right. Schaffner is a split left end. Lamar Lundy is the right end. Wade back to pass. Fakes a handoff to Matson. Rolls out to the left. He's going to throw. Shoots one long. Schaffner's down there. It is complete. Touchdown Rams. There's a penalty flag down. Hold everything. Penalty flag way back here at the line of scrimmage. Going to be against the Rams. The touchdown is nullified. A great pass from Wade to Schaffner, who caught it on the dead run over his shoulder and went into the end zone, but it is all for naught. There was a penalty flag and a penalty called against the Rams. Offside against the Rams. The Redskins offside, and the Rams were guilty of holding. The penalties nullify each other, and they'll do it all over again. So the line of scrimmage remains the 42-yard line. Les Walters into the ballgame, replacing Gene Tchaikovsky at right halfback defensively for Washington. All right, here the Rams up to the line of scrimmage again. Schaffner split left end, outside flanker to the right, and Wade on a handoff this time to Matson over right tackle. He's into the open at the 50, across to the 45. He's down to the 42-yard line before he is finally tripped up. Matson picking up a first down for the Rams. Laverne Torgerson making the stop on him.
Torgerson reached out, got Matson by an ankle just enough to trip him up, or Ollie might have been gone. Man, this Matson really runs easy. It doesn't look like he's got any speed at all, and he is really moving down there. 15 yards for Matson. 1st and 10 Rams on the Redskins' 43-yard line. Matson goes as an outside flanker to the right with the left end Schaffner split. Marconi right up the middle to the 40-yard line where he's piled up. Bob Tonup, the defensive left tackle, made the stop on him. It'll be 2nd down, about 6 yards to go. The ball is spotted on the 39-yard line of the Redskins. Falk, Tonup, Lawrence, and Ostrowski in the forward wall defensively for Washington. Wade calling the signals. Matson outside flanker to the right. Wade back to pass. Getting good protection. Shoots one down here. Complete to Lundy at the 20, to the 15. Tripped up and dropped at the 10-yard line. It's going to be actually spotted down about the 13-yard line. Richie McCabe was the man that tripped him up. Beautiful pass that time to Lundy, who went down and cut in. Looked over his shoulder. The ball was right there, and Lundy went inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. "25 yards on the play from Wade to Lundy. Ball spotted on the 14-yard line. Matson again flanks outside to the right. Wade back, hands off to Arnett with a blocker in front of him. Arnett inside the 10 to the 5, touchdown! Johnny Arnett taking the handoff from Bill Wade with a blocker in front of him. Arnett went into the end zone for the score, and the Rams went 83 yards in 7 plays. Now the try for extra point. That's Jack Morris in there to do the kicking. Don Burrows down on one knee will do the holding. Burrows ready. And the snapback. Here's Morris's boot. It is up and good. And the Rams now are out in front by a score of 14-9 with about 8 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the first half of the ball game.
Well, the lead continued to change back and forth as once again the Redskin offense, led by little Eddie LeBaron, went into gear and drove the length of the field on short gainers for a score. The Redskins led 16-14 at the half. Then, with the third period drawing to a close, the Rams were forced to punt. And once again, the genius of Eddie LeBaron was evident as he started the Skins on an offensive drive. Let's pick up our call of the game at that point.
About 45 seconds left to play in the third period. 16-14, Redskins leading. It's their ball, their own 33-yard line, 1st and 10. Eddie LeBaron at quarterback. Here's LeBaron back to pass. A lot of protection. Shoots one out to the left. Complete and out of bounds immediately at the 42-yard line is Johnny Carson, the left end. Joe Kelly and Will Sherman running him out. Carson's been in the league 6 years. He played at Georgia. 6'2", 205-pounder. Timeout for a measurement. It's that close to a first down. About 35 seconds remaining to play in the third quarter, and here comes the chain gang into the ball game now to see whether the Redskins have picked up the first down or not. It's going to be short, I believe. Short by about a yard. Sam Williams into the ball game, defensive right end for the Rams. Joe Kelly is in place of Ed Metter at the right cornerbacker, and Roy Wilkins in there at right linebacker. I'll give you the entire Ram defensive alignment here right after the next play. Joe Walton, the split right end for the Redskins. Podoli, an inside flanker to the left, and the left end is split. LeBaron back to throw. He's getting good protection. Shoots one far downfield. It is caught at the 25, down to the 20, down to the 18-yard line. That's the right end, Joe Walton from Pitt. Made a great catch right over the head of Jack Morris. Don Burrows and Will Sherman came over to finally stop him. A great catch by Walton, who went high up into the air to pull it down. LeBaron is getting excellent pass protection tonight. Little Eddie stays right in the cup. And they're really giving him time to throw back there. Redskins 16, Rams 14. Redskins ball, Ram 19-yard line. 1st and 10. LeBaron at quarterback. Inside flanker to the left with both ends split. LeBaron on a handoff right up the middle to Dickie James, and he hit that line and got no place. Les Richter, George Strugar there to meet him, and it's no gain on the play. 2nd and 10 from the 19-yard line. Brito, Strugar, Baker, and Michaels in the line for the Rams defensively. Pardee, Richter, and Wilkins the linebackers. Morris and Joe Kelly the corners, and Don Burrows and Will Sherman at safety. Jim Podoli going as an outside flanker far to the left. The right end split for the Redskins. The remaining backs, Oshetsky and James. Handoff to James, cutting around to the right. Gets away from a man at the 20 and fights his way down to the 15 to the 14-yard line. John Baker finally making the stop. Pardee had him back here, but James got away from him. James, just a little guy, played up at the University of Oregon. And he has really come into his own this year with the Redskins. He's been brilliant in both their games so far. He's 5'10", 175-pounder, hard as nails. Ends are split. Podoli is an inside flanker left. LeBaron rolling out to the left, and again getting good protection, being rushed back there. Now he's going to run. He's down to the 15, to the 10, and down to about the 7-yard line before he is hit hard from behind by Jack Pardee. And Don Burrows also getting up off the pile. Pardee was the one that came up to hit him. And LeBaron has picked up the 1st down. That's the 2nd time that Little Eddie has run tonight down in goal line territory, and both times he's picked up good yardage. Sam Williams into the ball game, replacing Gene Brito at defensive left end for the Rams. Skins up to the line again. Podoli, an inside flanker to the right. LeBaron rolling to the right, throws a shovel pass out to the left. It is complete to James and into the end zone for the touchdown. It's kind of a basketball pass as LeBaron stood there and let the rushers come in, flipped it over their head to James, who took it on the run, went into the end zone for the score. So the Redskins go out in front now by a score of 22-14, and we'll have the try for extra point here in just a moment.
Well, that extra point was good, and the score was the Redskins 23, the Los Angeles Rams 14. Then, with about 5 minutes left in the game, the Redskins' drive failed, and they had to punt. Let's go back to the call at that point, with the Rams trying to beat the clock and come from behind for a win.
Wade at quarterback, sends a flanker out to the right and splits his left end. Wade passing out to Matson to the 40, to the 35, down to the 31-yard line. And a pile up down there as Matson was brought down hard. Chuck Drozenovich, the middle linebacker for the Redskins, was the man that dropped him. It's enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line. 13 yards on the play by Ollie. Nixon into the ball game, replacing McCabe for the Redskins defensively. Flanker to the right, left end split. Wade calling the signals. Oh, mix up in the signals that time. Penalty flags all over the field. The backfield was in motion before the ball was snapped, and it'll be a 5-yard penalty against the Rams, I would guess, and that's only a guess, but that's the way it looked from here. There are penalty flags all over the place down there. Chet Ostrowski back into the ball game for the Redskins. That's it, a backfield in motion penalty against the Rams, 5 yards, and that moves the ball back out to the 38-yard line. The 1st and 15 for the Rams. Four and a half minutes remaining to play in the game. The Rams taking a lot of time in the huddle. Now they come out of it and up to the line, and Matson goes as an outside flanker right. Quick count. Wade back to throw, looking for a receiver. Shoots one down here, complete to Phillips at the 25. To the right, he's got a blocker in front of him. He goes to the 20, to the 15. He's to the 10. He's caught from behind and rolled to the ground at the 6-yard line. Phillips got a beautiful block from Ollie Matson, and he was finally caught and dropped by Stan Flowers, the right linebacker. It was a down and in as Phillips went down, cut in, took the pass, cutting to his right and went diagonally across the field. Matson threw a good block, and he went all the way to the 6. 30 yards on the play. First and goal for the Rams on the 7-yard line. Handoff to Wilson. He's inside the 5. He gets to the 3, maybe to the 2-yard line, depending on where they spot it down. Doyle Nix made the tackle on him. Time becomes a factor in the ball game now. There are 3 minutes and 15 seconds remaining to play. 23-14, Redskins leading. Second and goal, Rams on the 2-yard line. Matson flanks to the right. Phillips is a split left end. Handoff to Johnny Arnett, and he did not make it. He was hit hard at the 1-yard line. Dickie James was the man that hit him. Boy, this James is all football player. He is a little guy, thinking of NFL players. He's only 5'10", 175 pounds. He's a heck of a runner, and he's playing a bang-up defensive game in there for the Redskins. He just saved the Redskins a touchdown there. Third and goal to go. It's on about the half-yard line. Phillips split to the left. Handoff Matson, and he didn't make it. He is short of the goal line. Matson did not make it. Penalty flag down on the field, however. Now let's hold on for a minute and see what this is going to be. Doyle Nix again stopping the runner, Matson. Redskins were offside. They're penalized half the distance to the goal line, but it was on about the half-yard line, so they picked up about 6 inches on the penalty. However, they get another crack at it. It's still third and inches to go for the touchdown. Wade on a quarterback sneak. He made a touchdown.
Well, the conversion was good, and the score was the Redskins 23, the Rams 21. But the Ram bid fell short. The Redskins took the kickoff and controlled the ball to run out the clock. Final score, Redskins 23, Rams 21. It happened in sports back in August 1959. Now, this is Dick Shad in Los Angeles, inviting you to join us next week at this time for more great moments from sports history on Sports Week. This program was written and produced by the Sports Department of AFRTS Los Angeles. Technical assistance by Ken Levins. Sports Week has come to you through the worldwide facilities of the United States Armed Forces Radio and Television Service.